Hi friends, it's Miss Cindy back again with more stories from the Annville Free Library. This summer we're doing a lot of stories and themes with fairy tales and folk tales and tall tales, stories that we all really kind of share and know. Fairy tales and folk tales often have heroes and villains. We're going to take a new look at some of the villains of these stories and see if we might find some different ways that authors and storytellers have imagined these bad guys. The first one we're going to look at this week is the big bad wolf. Do you remember him from any stories? He is a main character in Little Red Riding Hood and also a main character in The Three Little Pigs. Let's see if you can help me remember the story of the Three Little Pigs. There were 1, 2, 3 little pigs. They left home so that they could build their own homes because they were growing now. The first pig built a house of straw. The second one, a house of sticks. And the third little pig worked very hard and made his house of bricks. Well, guess who came along? There comes the big bad wolf, and he wants to eat the pigs. And so he says, little pig, let me come in. And the little pig always answers, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. And he does. He blows down the house of straw. And that pig has to run next door, where the wolf comes again and blows down that house of sticks. And while all three pigs huddle together in their brother pig's brick house, here comes the wolf again. When he huffs and puffs, can he knock down that house of bricks? No, but he's still pretty tricky. So he tries going down the chimney to get in there. But uh-oh, there's a big pot of boiling water in the fireplace. Ow! The wolf gets burned, flies up the chimney, and never bothers those pigs again. Well, that's one version of the Three Little Pigs. There's other versions that you might find at your library, and you might even enjoy. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by Jon Scieszka. Find out what the real story is according to the wolf. Here's The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. You might like to borrow that from the library. How about The Three Ninja Pigs? Or Watch Out for Wolf. And this little pig with, I wonder what's chasing him. Suddenly! You can find all those books at the library. Well, I'm going to get this guy and say, in my story that's next, this wolf isn't trying to be a bad guy. He wants to be a good guy. Let's see if he can be a good guy all the way to the end. Mr. Wolf's Pancakes. One day, Mr. Wolf was feeling hungry. He decided to make some pancakes. Oh, yum, 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 he said, licking his lips at the thought of a big pile of fresh, delicious pancakes. But Mr. Wolf had never made pancakes before, so he took his big recipe book down off the shelf and he looked inside. But wolves can't read very well. He even has the book upside down. Mr. Wolf had trouble understanding it, so he went to get some help from his neighbors. First, he called on Chicken Licken, who lived next door. Can you please help me read this? He asked. No, said Chicken Licken, slamming the door right in Mr. Wolf's face. Bang! Oh dear, that wasn't very nice, was it? Oh dear, sighed Mr. Wolf. He sat down at home and slowly he read the book and worked out the things he needed all by himself. Then Mr. Wolf looked in his cupboard for the ingredients, but he couldn't find anything he needed. Would you put ketchup in pancakes? Or cereal? Or pickles? Or apple? Probably not. I'll have to go to the store, he decided, and he settled down to write his shopping list. But wolves aren't very good at writing either. So Mr. Wolf called on his other neighbor, Wee Willie Winkie. Oh, you're very clever, said Mr. Wolf. Can you help me write my shopping list? Please? No, said Wee Willie Winkie. Go away. And he slammed his door. Bang! That was really rude. Well, there's no need to be like that, said Mr. Wolf quietly. Mr. Wolf sat down and worked very hard at his writing until he had made his shopping list all by himself. Now he needed to count his money to make sure he had enough. But wolves aren't very good at counting. So he went to his neighbor, the gingerbread man, for some help. Can you help me count my money, please? He asked very politely. No, I'm too busy to bother with you, said the gingerbread man, slamming his door. Bang! Well, I never. So poor Mr. Wolf had to sit down and count his money. It took him a long time, and he had to check it 3 times before it was right. But he did it all by himself. Now Mr. Wolf needed a basket to carry his groceries home in. So he called on Little Red Riding Hood. Excuse me, may I please borrow your basket? He asked very nicely. I'm not lending my basket to you, said Little Red Riding Hood. Get out of here. So Mr. Wolf set off to the store without a basket. I'll manage, he said. Here's old Mother Hubbard's general store. Around the corner is Rub-a-Dub-Dub Bathrooms and Simple Simon's Pie Emporium. Well, Mr. Wolf took his list and he went to the store. He looked at his list and he remembered what he needed. He counted out his money and he carried the eggs, the milk, and the flour home, all by himself. Now it was time to make the pancakes. But wolves aren't very good at cooking, so Mr. Wolf called on some other neighbors, the 3 little pigs. Can you please help me cook my pancakes? I'll share them with you, he said kindly. Forget about it, chorused the pigs, slamming their doors. Bang, bang, bang. Mr. Wolf felt sad because nobody wanted to help him. Mr. Wolf went home and started to make the pancakes all by himself. Soon there was a huge pile of delicious pancakes on the table, all ready for eating. Now, as Mr. Wolf had been making his pancakes, a lovely smell had been drifting out of his kitchen, and all of his neighbors could smell and it made them all feel very hungry. They wanted some pancakes too. They decided to try their luck. So they knocked on Mr. Wolf's door. "Give us some of your pancakes," said the rude bunch. Was that very polite? Not at all. "Why should I give any to you?" said Mr. Wolf. "Not one of you would help me." "We'll help you eat them," replied Mr. Wolf's neighbors nastily. "Anyway, we're not going away until you give us some." Mr. Wolf thought very hard for a moment. There was only one decent thing to do. "Oh, very well then," he sighed. "You had better come in." Mr. Wolf opened the door wide and whoosh! His greedy neighbors rudely pushed him aside and they dashed down the hall. Mr. Wolf shook his head. He shrugged his shoulders and he followed them into the kitchen. And when they were all in the kitchen, Mr. Wolf gobbled them up. Snippity snappity. That was the end of his unhelpful neighbors. And then, with his bulging stomach still not full, Mr. Wolf sat down to eat his pile of pancakes. And he did it all by himself. Well, after all, there was nobody else around. The end. I think that's funny. My other story is about wolf. Do you know a song about the big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? No, not I, not I. Can you sing along with me? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? No, not I, not I. Wolf by Becky Bloom and illustrated by Pascal Biet. In this story, he might start out as a big bad wolf, but does he stay that way? After walking for many days, a wolf wandered into a quiet little town. He was tired and hungry, and his feet ached, and he had only a little bit of money that he kept for emergencies. Then he remembered. Aha! There's a farm outside this village, he thought. I'll find some food there. As he peered over the farm fence, he saw a pig, a duck, and a cow reading in the sun. The wolf had never seen animals reading before. I'm so hungry. My eyes must be playing tricks on me, he said to himself. But he really was very hungry. And he didn't stop to think about it for very long. The wolf stood up tall. He took a deep breath. And he leaped at the animals with a howl. Ow! The chickens and the rabbits ran for their lives. But the duck, the pig, and the cow didn't budge. Oh, what is that awful noise? Complained the cow. I can't concentrate on my book. What? Just ignore it, said the duck. The wolf did not like to be ignored. What's wrong with you? growled the wolf. "Can't you see I'm a big and dangerous wolf?" "I'm sure you are," replied the pig. "But couldn't you go be big and dangerous somewhere else? We're trying to read here. This is a farm for educated animals. Now be a good wolf and go away," said the pig, giving him a push. Well, the wolf had never been treated like this before. "Educated animals, educated animals," the wolf repeated to himself. "This is something new. Well then, I'll learn to read." And off he went to school. Does he look a little different now? Well, the children found it strange to have a wolf in their class, but since he didn't try to eat anyone, they soon got used to him. The wolf was serious and hardworking, and after much effort, he learned to read and write, and soon he became the best in his class. Feeling quite satisfied, the wolf went back to the farm and jumped over the fence. "I'll show them," he thought. He opened his book and he began to read. "Run, wolf, run. See wolf run." Said the duck. "You've got a long way to go." The duck didn't even bother looking up. And the pig, the duck, and the cow went right on reading their own books. They were not the least bit impressed. So the wolf jumped back over the fence and ran straight to the public library. He studied long and hard, reading lots of books. And he practiced and practiced till he could read without stopping. Is he looking a little different now? They'll be impressed with my reading now, he said to himself. The wolf walked up to the farm gate and he knocked. He opened his book, The Three Little Pigs, and he began to read. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs, and one day their mother called and told them, "Stop that racket," interrupted the duck. "You have improved," remarked the pig, "but you still need to work on your style." The wolf tucked his tail between his legs and he slunk away. But the wolf wasn't about to give up. He counted the little bit of money that he had left and went to the bookshop and bought a splendid new storybook, his first very own book. Is he starting to look even a little different now? He now has his very own book, and he was going to read it day and night, every letter and every line. He would read so well that the farm animals would admire him. Ding dong, rang the wolf at the farm gate. He lay down on the grass. He made himself comfortable. He took out his new book and he began to read. He read with confidence and passion, and the pig and the cow and the duck all listened and said not one word. Each time he finished a story, the pig, the duck, and the cow asked if he would please read another one. So the wolf read on, story after story. One minute he was Little Red Riding Hood, and next a genie emerging from a lamp, and then a swashbuckling pirate. "Oh, whack, this is so much fun," said the duck. "He's a master," said the pig. "Why don't you join us in our picnic today?" offered the cow. And so they all had a picnic. The pig, the duck, the cow, and the wolf. They lay in the tall grass and they told stories all the afternoon long. Hey, we should become storytellers, said the cow suddenly. We could travel around the world, said the duck. We could start tomorrow morning, said the pig. The wolf stretched in the grass. He was happy to finally have such wonderful friends. The end. Some people that we met in our other book of Mr. Wolf's Pancakes. Chicken Little, the Gingerbread Man, Little Red Riding Hood, the Three Little Pigs, and here's a Mother Goose book where you can meet Wee Willie Winkie. You can find all kinds of versions of these books at your library, and make sure you know all these fun stories. Well, before I go, I wanted to say maybe you would like to make some houses just like the Three Little Pigs did. Well, what I want you to try is making different houses of different sizes and then try to blow them over. Just experiment a little bit. How about a brick? Or a big rock. That might be pretty hard to blow over. Try it. How about a water bottle? What would happen if I took all the water out? Would it be easier to blow over? Experiment. Whoa, there went the can. How about the houses? Was it easier to blow over a big house or a little house? Does it depend where you blow? Blowing on the bottom? Or blowing near the top? Blowing on the front? Or blowing on the side? Try all different kinds of things and experiment and see what things you can huff and puff and blow the house down. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next week. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug. Blow a kiss, jellyfish. See you soon, you big raccoon. Out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Wave goodbye, butterfly. Bye-bye.